Where are we going to put all this stuff?
Get out of the snack aisle!
Gregg, Wallace and greengrocer Chris Bavin are back for another mission.
Eureka!
Helping families get their food spend under control.
That's the biggest food bill I've ever seen.
They're taking over kitchens.
Oh, my God.
What have we done?
To find out where we can spend less.
I think it tastes nice.
If that's saving money, then bring it on.
They'll be delving into popular food and drink.
And this one's better looking than my co-presenter.
I need another partner.
And giving the great British public their say.
I really don't like this one.
With budget-busting recipes.
I love the chips. Go, Mummy. Go, Mummy.
You've amazed me.
A lot of people say that.
Will Gregg and Chris prove that you can eat well for less?
This isn't as simple as saving money. This is about changing a family's diet for the better.
This week we're with the Scott Dents,
Look at those, yeah!
who have a freezer food addiction.
Favourite aisle?
Yay! My favourite aisle.
They hardly ever cook from scratch
I'm so lazy.
and throw a fortune straight in the bin.
£1,000 a year.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Can Gregg and Chris step up to the plate
I reckon there's a cook inside you fighting to get out,
I
mate.
hope so, I hope so.
and get this family back on track?
We have managed to save you guys.
What?
Wow.
Oh, my goodness me.
We're in Newport with a family who desperately need to get their food spending under control.
We are the Scott Dent family.
Kate and Chris have been married for 3 years.
Hold on.
Oh, referee.
Chris's stepdad to Jack, who's 9, and Ollie, who's 7. Megan is the couple's youngest at 5.
Life like for the Scots is definitely very hands-on, very busy, having 3 children under 10. It's a very busy life, but I love it.
With both of them working and 5 mouths to feed, there's a lot of balls to keep in the air. But unfortunately, there's one ball that Kate just keeps dropping.
My cooking skills are non-existent. I don't have any.
There we go. Look at all those chips.
And she relies on one thing for survival.
Freezer food is easy. Just putting it on a tray, putting it in the oven, and happy days.
Done.
Using frozen food instead of cooking from scratch doesn't come cheap, and it sometimes gets a cold reception.
So will you enjoy this dinner, do you think, tonight?
I had it the other day, so...
They get ever so bored with what I cook. I don't know what else to do with you, I really don't. I don't remember the last time I chopped a vegetable.
I'm not a massive fan of freezer food. I want more homemade food.
The food that comes into the house is, in general, a bit crappy.
Ollie came up with a suggestion, and it was chicken cut up into very small pieces with noodles. The thing is, cutting chicken up feels like a chore. I haven't got time for that. I loathe cooking.
When Kate's not cooking, she's busy throwing food away.
Sell-by dates are the bane of my life. Literally, I will not let anyone eat anything. If it's going out on that day, it'll go in the bin.
You don't need to chuck this stuff away.
I've just got this phobia of food going off.
Let's go back in there.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'll put it where you
Don't come
can.
crying to me when you're ill.
From vegetables.
Looks like Gregg and Chris have got their work cut out. They've come to the family's local supermarket to spy on their next big shop.
Do you know, there's actually so much more convenient food than there is fresh food now.
I tell you what, I had no idea just how much, to be honest.
It's so easy to get tempted by pre-prepared food that saves time without thinking of the extra cost.
Look at all of these. What's there? Fat chips, crinkled chips, waffles. That's about 10 yards of frozen potatoes. Where a loose potato is what, £1 a kilo? Look at the cost of these.
Frozen potato foods can cost over £4 a kilo, 4 times the price of the loose equivalent.
Potatoes are one of the cheapest things you can buy, but not in this format.
Cheap as chips. In fact, cheaper.
Exactly that. Potatoes are cheaper than chips.
Kate and Chris have arrived for their weekly shop and are ready to fill their trolley.
go, we want that.
Yeah. Can we get some sweet potatoes?
What they don't know is that their shopping habits will be scrutinised by 2 new sales assistants, watching their every move.
Can you buy a bag?
No, can't be bothered with a bag.
Chris and Gregg have taken cover in the storeroom to get a closer look.
Meg loves these, doesn't she, for her sandwiches?
Why are they buying battened carrots? Why don't you just chop up carrots?
Is that watermelon?
Yes.
Yay!
Kate. Buy a melon! Buy a melon!
Steady on, Gregg. But at £1 each, those 3 small pots are the same price as buying a whole melon. And there's over 4 times as much in one of those.
Right, we need some butter.
Yeah.
Should find that round here. Just get the normal butter. We don't have Marge, do we?
No.
It's much better for you, isn't it, getting this one?
Kate firmly believes that the butter is much better for you than the marge. I'm not so sure about that. I wouldn't mind having a closer look at the difference between margarine and butter.
Sliced cheese. Can't be bothered to cut a normal cheese. Just too much effort, isn't it?
Sliced cheese?
No.
Just buy a block of cheese.
You haven't got to get the grater out and then it's less washing up.
You haven't got to get a grater out anyway, just a knife.
There's still too much effort.
OK.
Far too much effort.
It's too much effort to argue as well.
Right, yeah.
Kate is obviously in charge of the shopping.
So far, Chris is surplus to requirements. Not dissimilar to this relationship, is it?
Well, he is pushing the trolley.
Well, true, I suppose.
It's not long before Kate spots something else that ticks the convenience box.
They look lush. Right, there's less calories in that one.
£4 though.
Yeah, but it'll be nice.
For 2 bits of chicken.
Yeah.
If we buy the chicken, we can put some garlic on it
No,
ourselves.
you're all right.
At least he's trying.
It's £4 for 2 bits of
I
chicken.
know, but it's nice. Look, you pay that anyway. There we go. They're £5.50.
How many bits of chicken are in there?
Oh, yeah.
This family is throwing money away.
There is a real clash here. Chris is concerned about the price. Kate doesn't want to give herself any more work.
We can make some mean burgers out of those, or you can make burgers, rather.
I'm really surprised they bought Mince to make their own burgers because everything else so far has been convenience-led.
Chris is making the burgers. Wonder if Chris wants to do more cooking.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Your favourite aisle?
Yay! My favourite aisle.
I can well believe that.
I love it. Right, we'll have some
chips.
waffles. Yeah, get some wedges there. Get the roasted garlic ones.
They spend so much time in the freezer aisle, Chris and Kate, you'd have to put an anorak on to keep warm.
And you'd have to bring your checkbook.
With their trolley packed with pre-prepared produce, Kate and Chris are heading to the tills.
Right, yeah, I think that's it. We're all done for
Yeah.
everything we need,
Yeah.
But they're unaware of what lies in store.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
So we've just watched you shop, and I think it's clear to say that, Kate, you're in charge.
Yes.
You check the prices, don't you?
I do, yeah.
I think you failed today.
Yeah, no, I always do. I always do.
Chris, you want to come down here and help me pack?
Yeah.
So just to clarify something for me,
Yep.
you can make your burgers from scratch,
Yeah.
but we're not slicing our own cheese.
I'm
No.
not allowed to cut my own cheese
It's
out.
far too much effort. Far too much effort. It makes more mess as well.
We're not judging you.
I am. Harshly.
I know, I can
Harshly.
So many people make the same mistakes. We see it time and time again, don't we? But I think if you guys are prepared to look at, cooking a little bit more from scratch, we can save you a whole host of money. And considering, Kate, I don't think you checked the price of anything today. Have you got any idea how much you've spent today?
80, maybe about 80, I'd say.
£97.81.
Okay.
Is this your only shop?
No, it's my 3rd shop this week. I went yesterday and I went Monday.
That's amazing. So you're literally
Yeah.
already three times this
Oh,
week?
yeah, I usually go about 4 to 5 times a week for sandwich stuff for kids.
I think you're both far too nice to be wasting this much money.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Greg.
Go on. Let's get started on you lot.
The family need to tighten their belts and change their shopping habits, and they've got a big motivation.
That's nice inside, isn't it? I like, they've got the stripy wallpaper I like.
They currently rent and are hoping to save £10,000 for a deposit to buy their first home.
To own a house would just be amazing. I would forego everything to own a house. I love these old style houses.
Yeah.
I love all the bay windows.
It would be nice to own our own place and just have something to leave the kids with one day.
Gregg and Chris are determined to help the family save their hard-earned cash, and they're resorting to shock tactics.
We've got all your shopping bills from the last 5 weeks. Have you any idea how much it is you're spending every week?
We did think it was about 150.
You're spending on average £208 a week. Now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's £10,000 a year.
I can't believe how much it adds up to. It's insane. 10 grand.
I still look in the cupboard and there's
nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Would you like to take a guess at how much the average spend for a family of 5 is a week?
I knew between 130, 170.
OK, well, the average spend is £89.50 a week.
Wow.
So...
Oh, my God, we've totally even doubled that.
Yeah.
And more.
You're
So we're
well
spending
over
way
it.
too much.
Wow. I'd love to spend that a week.
Yeah.
I'd be well happy with
Yeah,
that.
think how much money we'd have in our
Oh, my
pockets.
God, I know.
And Chris has another bombshell.
I'll tell you another area you could save an awful lot of money is the amount of food you throw away.
Oh, yeah.
We monitored your food waste and it comes to about £20 a week. And £20 a week is over £1,000 a year.
Oh, it's going in the bin.
Yeah, that's nuts. Oh, my God.
You do want to save money, I take it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yes. We're trying to save for a house, so the more we can save, the better.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's huge savings in food.
Yeah.
And when you consider you're twice the average of a family of 5, that means £5 a year?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, I know.
It's incredible to think that, you could save that kind of money.
I know they want to save money. Yeah, how much can we save?
50 quid for me, I think is achievable.
I reckon 50 easy.
Which is a lot of money, isn't it?
I don't think in this case it's just the money. I think if we get this right, I reckon we can get them to eat better and eat together. I think we'll leave this family feeling really good about this.
Take Kate's fear of use-by dates. They're throwing so much food away. Just with a little bit of knowledge, just to try and remove the fear and the unknown, that would make great savings.
I would like to get the family cooking. Probably Chris.
Yeah.
So I'm about the food and you're rubbish. Sound right, isn't it?
Sums it up quite nicely, doesn't it?
While the family were out, we gave their kitchen a bit of a makeover. Their usual shopping has been replaced, all disguised in plain packaging, to open their eyes to new varieties.
Oh, my goodness, you've actually kidded.
Most are cheaper alternatives, but to really test their taste buds, some foods haven't been swapped at all.
What are those? There.
And some are more expensive, because sometimes it is worth spending more.
What about this chocolate spread?
No. That's Nutella. No, it's not Nutella.
It's not.
Challenging them to try new foods should save them money off their bill.
Look, cheese. You'll have to cut it yourself.
Kate won't be happy we've swapped her convenience foods with fresh ingredients to cook from scratch.
Yuck.
Cucumber.
Oh, alien. I don't think we've ever had these things in our fridge before. What is that?
That's
guava. It's guava, is it?
It looks like lime.
Does it smell of anything?
We never really have peppers, cucumber. We normally never have lemons and lime and stuff, but I will try all of that though.
And the family are in for a big surprise.
Should we check the freezer? We haven't checked the freezer yet. Oh, we're not allowed in the other 3 drawers, but what have we got? Fish fingers.
What?
Is that it?
Oh, you put fingers.
Just fish fingers, kids. It's a bit more inconvenient, but that's what we're left with. To open the freezer and have
God, one thing in
the
there.
only thing that was in there was the fish fingers. That was a shock.
That's really scary, and I think I feel really apprehensive at the fact there's only one thing in the freezer.
It's the following day. The kids' usual breakfast is 2 microwave pancakes with chocolate spread. But not today.
We literally microwave, bang, done, gone, usually eating in the car on the way to school.
We've swapped their usual breakfast for fruit toast. 1 slice has less sugar compared to a pancake, but it does involve a little bit of prep.
This is all very strange, actually, making breakfast. It never happens. Hopefully they like it.
And just to make sure, Kate's disguising it with chocolate spread. And a lot of it by the looks of things.
Kids, breakfast.
If this goes down well, it would be a huge saving of over £100 a year.
Do you prefer pancakes or do you prefer that?
Yes.
Do you? Good.
1 down, 2 to go.
Oh, raisins.
Uh-oh.
Just have a chew, Jack. Chew it up and try it.
Raisins.
Give it a chance, though. Chew it.
Just chew it on.
See what you
Chocolate
think.
spread on. Megan, you enjoy it?
What's wrong with the What's wrong with the raisin?
Raisins.
I think that might be a no.
Oh no, it has great
You
raisins.
don't like it, do you?
Chris usually buys a bagel on the way to work, setting him back £2.25 a week. But we've given him a multi-pack at £1.20. That's a saving of over £50 a year. But before he can get stuck in, the kids have already got their mitts on them.
That's nice.
You like that,
Yeah?
do you?
I really like that. I like that.
You happy with that?
I'll probably eat that every day.
There's a lot more to do in the morning, but it is something I'm willing to put up with if it's going to save me money in the long run. I'm so lazy. This has really pointed out how lazy I am, hasn't it?
Kate's willing to change her breakfast routine, but what's Chris's verdict on the new bagel?
It doesn't taste as fluffy or as fresh as the other one. But then again, if it works out cheaper, I'd be happy for Kate to buy a pack.
The family usually buy own brand butter, but we've swapped it for a spread that gram for gram is nearly half the price and has much less saturated fat.
I'm not used to the spread. We always have butter, so it doesn't taste as nice.
Not all the swaps have been popular, but if the family did keep all these changes, it would save them over £150 a year, and that's just on breakfast. Kate usually buys butter thinking it's healthier than Marge.
Right, we'll just get the normal butter. We don't have Marge, do we?
No.
It's much better for you, isn't it, getting this one?
But is that really the case? Health advice has swung backwards and forwards over the years. Gregg wants to find out what goes into margarine today.
I didn't expect to be standing in a beautiful field of yellow flowers, Andrew.
He's meeting Andrew Nottage, who works for a farm that supplies many spread manufacturers with a key ingredient.
This is all-seed rape. We get these beautiful yellow flowers in the middle of April, and these are the pods, and inside of these pods are the seeds which contain the oil. And we end up with this nice black seeds.
And that's what you squeeze the oil from?
And that's what we squeeze the oil from.
How many of these would it take to get a jar of oil?
This is a square metre. So off there, we'll have 180 millilitres of oil, roughly. And that's going to make enough oil for 3 tubs of margarine.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad, is it? And off this field, we'll get 405,000 tubs.
When I'm driving along, those fields of yellow flowers are fields and fields of margarines and spreads.
Absolutely.
Now Gregg knows one of the natural ingredients of Marge and spread, he's keen to see what else goes into them. He's meeting up with nutritionist Estelle Gaudier.
What's the difference between a margarine and a spread?
Both of them are made of healthy vegetable oils. The only difference is actually the amount of fat. So if you're above 80%, you have to call it margarine. If you're below 80%, you have to call it spreads.
People are scared of margarines, aren't they? People thought that margarine was an industrial product full of really bad fat. Was that the case?
There's been a scare over trans fats. They've been proven to be bad for us.
A diet high in trans fats can cause health problems like heart disease and stroke.
And as soon as we found out, wow, we changed the recipe.
Now, with our modern spreads, no more trans fats.
No trans fats in the spreads.
High five. High five. Good. Because if you'd have had a load of trans fats, you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd be blocked, you'd fall over. So we know.
Your arteries would be clogged.
To prove how natural spreads can be, Estelle is getting Gregg to make his own. No pressure, Gregg. They're starting off with 2 tablespoons of coconut oil.
We need to warm that up to let it melt.
Next, 3 spoonfuls of oil. Gregg's using rapeseed.
So now we can add a little bit of milk.
An egg yolk will bind it.
Yeah, and now we're gonna cool them down. So from your liquid, you're gonna get a lovely spreadable paste.
Greg's having a good old go, and although the chances of us all grabbing a whisk and making spread at home are slim, it does show that they can be made with natural ingredients.
Look! Spread with no trans fats. Do you do this on an industrial scale? Do you mix it all together and then cool it?
Yeah, it's exactly the same principle.
Well, you've managed to make it, but what does it taste like?
You've made your own tasty spread, Gregg.
It's all right, look at that.
It is.
That's brilliant. I no longer need to be scared of those margarines. Apparently, they've gone through so many changes that they're now OK. But what I don't know is the nutritional and health differences between butter and the spreads. That's what I want to find out.
Greg's off to visit dietitian Lucy Jones to get to the bottom of it.
I am actually very, very confused. Butter and margarine, what is better for me?
You and the rest of the planet.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a really confusing picture.
Apparently, it's all about the fats.
Now, if we look at fats, there are the good, the bad, and the middly. The goods are the unsaturated fats. They help to reduce our risk of heart disease.
These are in spreads and margarines.
The bads are trans fatty acids. These are industrially made fats, and traditionally, margarines were a source of those.
But as Greg's learnt, these have now been removed, which has made him a happy man.
I feel a lot more comfortable because I realise that the spreads are processed, but there's nothing evil in them anymore.
All right? The middly fats are the saturated fats, and those are the more confusing ones. The butters are by far the highest in saturated fat. They're over 50% saturated fat, where if you compare it to the olive-based spread and these two spreads at the end, they only have 10 or 11%.
Does that mean that the spreads are better for us?
It means they're lower in saturated fat, but there are limits to how much saturated fat we should eat a day. And if you've got high cholesterol, you should be thinking of swapping to unsaturated.
Look at me, look.
Fit as a flea.
Back in Newport, and after a day at work, Kate usually gets the dinner out the freezer.
I'm looking at these potatoes, trying to figure out how to inch cut them. That way and that way. It's daunting. Oh well, what have I got to lose, eh?
Hopefully not your fingers. Kate's usual frozen potato shapes cost £1.75. The potatoes used for this meal cost just 60p. If they had them 3 times a week, that'd save nearly £180 a year. So keep slicing, Kate.
I think these are looking quite nice, actually. I've chipped them. Check me out. Amazing.
A little oil and into the oven for 45 minutes.
I'm really pleased with my chips. My only one thing in my freezer. I think they're probably like a supermarket own brand or something, and I've never bought supermarket own brand fish fingers or anything like that before.
Yes, Kate, you're right. We've swapped your usual branded fish fingers, which are £1.78 per pack, for a supermarket own brand at £1. This swap would save you over £40 a year.
Oh my God, look at those chips. So I just hope the kids like them.
Also on the menu tonight is a kiddie favourite, baked beans. Their regular branded beans set them back 60p a tin, but this one's only 29p. Having these 3 times a week would save nearly £50 a year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the kids trying the beans of all things, because they will know whether they're our usual brands.
It's the moment of truth.
I love the chips.
Yay, do you?
Always do these.
Yeah? I'm more than happy to do them.
They're just better than frozen ones.
Are they? Why do you think they're better?
They just taste better.
Oh, I'm so proud that I've cooked those for you and you're eating them.
Amazing. Amazing. Much better than all the other chips that we've had.
Yes. Go, Mummy, I made chippies. Yeah.
The chips have gone down well, but will the baked bean fans notice that we've swapped their favourite brand?
They're not Heinz.
They're Heinz, they are.
They're not Heinz.
I don't care if they're not Heinz.
No way, Jose.
I don't like the fish fingers, do you? They're the ones of your dreams? Yeah. OK, that's the result. I'm happy with it. You always dream about them.
If the kids were to have this meal once a week, it would save them over £2.24. That's over £115 a year.
I cannot believe I've got 3 clean plates. I haven't had that for a long time.
There's no waste in this meal, but don't forget Kate's a stickler for throwing things away. Like many of us, she gets confused between sell-by dates and use-by dates.
That's out of date.
You know it's a rubbish habit if it costs you £1,000 a year. Chris is keen to open Kate's eyes to how much food we all waste and has come up with a plan, but I'm not sure she's going to like it.
Well, I've arranged for us this morning to join a refuse collection.
Oh my God. OK, but I have to do it, though.
We're going to do it together, yes. You're going to be a bin person.
Oh my God. Chris.
For the morning.
Looking good, Chris.
So you enjoying this?
Yeah, it's fine. Didn't like that last box, though. That was the right stinking box.
It might be a stinking box to you, Kate, but once it disappears into the lorry...
They're taking it to the processing plant, they're breaking it down, and then they're turning that into fertiliser or even electricity. So, yeah, so, you know, at least it's having a positive effect.
But that's no excuse to throw food away before the use-by date.
On quite a light day, look how much food is being thrown out, and we've only done one road so far. Imagine if you multiply that over all the houses in Newport or even Wales, how much that would be.
I know. That is crazy.
And our Kate contributes to this more than she realises.
This is an incredible amount, isn't it?
It's a lot. It is a lot. I can't believe I waste that much.
Kate's overzealous binning is due to a mistrust of use-by dates, and Chris wants to find out just how safe these labels are. He's meeting up with Principal Food Safety Advisor Peter Waring, who's a shelf-life specialist.
So, Peter, would it be fair to say that some of us find the food labels a little bit confusing?
They do. Their use-by date is all about the safety aspects of food, so it's unsafe to eat food once it's gone beyond its use-by date.
And what about sell-by dates? That's on the packet as well, isn't it?
That's put in by the retailer to make sure that consumer has still got some of the shelf life left before the end of the shelf life.
So the use-by date is the one that we should really be taking notice of?
Absolutely, yeah. If you go beyond the use-by date, there's a potential problem. You could have food poisoning.
Peter wants to show Chris how they set a use-by date. First, he injects food poisoning bacteria into 3 ready meal curries to see how it reacts.
This is Listeria.
And what would exposure to Listeria do to you?
Compared to Salmonella, that gives you the chippy tummy. In this case, it poisons your blood, basically, so it's much more serious. There's about 150 cases a year, but about 50 people die from that. That's why we're really worried about it as a food poisoning organism.
Peter needs to work out when Listeria gets to dangerous levels and set the use-by date well before this point.
Now what we need to do is we need to put this sample in the incubator.
OK.
To be able to work out the amount of growth of Listeria, Peter injects a sample from the ready meal into a Petri dish.
Right in the middle, that's it. Squeeze it and push it further, that's it.
By looking at how much the Listeria has grown, Peter can work out exactly what the use-by date should be. And here's one he made earlier.
Beyond the end of the shelf life, it's definitely not safe. So it's showing if you stay within the shelf life, you should be OK, but if you go beyond the shelf life, it's not going to be OK.
What would you say to someone that's so unsure that they actually throw food out before it even gets to its use-by date?
There's no need to do that because we always work on a worst-case scenario. Let's say the organism's grown to a point where it would give you food poisoning after 10 days, well, then we would say that we would recommend the use-by date would be 7 days. So there's a margin of safety in there.
Well, that clears that up. Hopefully now Kate will stop throwing so much away. But that's not her only food fear. She's so worried about her family getting ill, she won't even reheat leftovers.
If we do have leftover food, for instance, in a spag bowl, Chris would like to take it to work, but I don't allow him. It goes in the bin.
Chris and Gregg are off to visit dietitian Lucy. She's come up with a recipe that anyone can rustle up from what's in their fridge.
Lucy, we've got a lovely family in Wales called the Scott family. This family waste a lot of food. They're very reluctant to make the most of any leftovers. So have you got any tips or advice that we could maybe give to those guys?
So I was thinking perhaps we could use what may end up being a leftover roast.
Lucy wants to show just how easy it is to make a delicious chicken stir-fry.
We've picked a couple of veg, but really you can put whatever veg you've got left over in your fridge that's starting to look a bit sorry for itself.
Reheating food is perfectly safe as long as you follow the correct steps.
If you're looking at leftover meat, we need to make sure we're using it within 2 days to be exact. And as far as possible, you should be slicing up what you need for your roast and getting it cooled and in the fridge as soon as possible covered.
It's also important not to reheat leftovers more than once.
You want to do the honours? Take it over?
Yes.
The onions are fried with chopped ginger, then in goes the broccoli.
I'm just going to add a bit of seasoning. There's loads of ways you can flavour this up by adding different herbs, by adding some chilli, or even just increasing the proportion of soy sauce to honey. We're just using a 2-to-1 mix.
That's 2 tablespoons of soy sauce for 1 of honey.
Chris Scott would love this because it's just one pot cooking.
Yeah.
It's so easily and quickly done.
Last in, the peas.
Yeah, guys.
Let's dig in, try it.
That's great.
That's quick, tasty, easy, and incredibly cheap.
And I hope kid-friendly.
Good job, Lucy. Using leftovers is nothing to be scared of. It reduces waste and can save you money. Back in Newport, and it's time for a break. These two love their coffee and usually drink a brand that's £1.70 a jar.
Oh, God, I need a coffee. Oh, do you want me to make it?
Yeah.
But what will they make of this?
I don't like it much.
It's very mellow. It's not normal coffee, and I don't know how long I could drink this for.
It just tastes like flavoured.
Yeah, flavoured hot water.
Between you and me, it's the same coffee.
It's definitely not the same, is it?
No.
I definitely wouldn't keep it.
No, I won't keep this coffee. It's
No.
far too weak for my liking.
Yeah.
It needs to revert back to pre-existing coffee.
You two are in for a shock later. Over the next few days, the family continue with their food swaps.
I think you can cook most of this.
Yeah.
I will be your assistant chef.
OK.
Chris is keen to cook more, and with the freezer out of bounds, there's no stopping him.
I would say that got more fat in it, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know, it's hard to tell how it looks because we buy the boil in the bag.
It looks the same to me.
That looks really tasty.
But how are Chris's culinary skills and the new foods going down?
It's really nice, it is.
I would definitely swap this recipe regardless of whether it's more expensive or not. I love it. Because you know what, I would rather you cook me this than go out to a restaurant because I feel it's so much nicer.
We've taken away most of their freezer food in favour of healthy, fresh vegetables.
Oh, look at all that veg.
You are so good at trying stuff on, I gotta be fair. I can't believe I've gone 30 years without enjoying peppers. Lush.
With the family getting stuck in, Chris and Gregg are paying them a visit to pass on some extra tips. Gregg wants to broaden Chris's culinary horizons with a healthy recipe for all the family.
You trust me?
I trust you.
I reckon there's a cook inside you fighting to get out, mate.
I hope so. I hope so.
Your burgers go down really well?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try and lighten it up, go even healthier.
Right.
Don't laugh. Tuna burgers.
Tuna burgers.
Now, you don't eat a lot of fish, do you?
No. The kids aren't big fish eaters. They turn their nose up to it usually.
Why don't we just not tell them it's fish?
Yeah, great idea.
What are we going to call it?
Let's call it the Gregg burger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First up, a lesson in crushing garlic.
I go like that.
Right, OK.
And then I find it easier to get the skin off.
Ah, OK.
Put some salt on there. That's flavour. Also, that salt is abrasive. It's breaking down the garlic. Here's the other one. That's great.
I'll do it all?
Yeah, do it all. When we first met you,
Yeah.
you said that you needed the help of me and Chris Youthall to change your eating habits. What did you mean by that?
That I'm willing to cook as long as Kate's willing to buy the ingredients.
I know the answer to that. If you're doing meal plans
Yeah.
and you know which 2 meals you're cooking, that's it. She buys the ingredients you ask her to.
Yeah, and I'm leaving her to it, so it's not all her fault. I'm just as much to blame.
Well, I agree. Come on, jump up.
Meanwhile, Kate's getting some tips on use-by dates that should cut down her waste.
If you think every piece of food that doesn't go in the bin is money.
Yeah. Well, say I bought eggs. If it says sell by date 1st of January and then they've got use by date 8th of January, I'll go by the 1st and chuck them, because I think if the supermarket can't sell them after the 1st, then why should I eat them?
You adopt the sell by date
Yeah.
as your use by date.
Yes.
You can eat the food up to and including the use by date.
Okay.
And the money that you can save, you know, because ultimately you're going out, you're replacing these things to then throw them away again.
Yeah.
Which you don't want to do, do you?
No.
And there are some things that Kate can do to help herself.
If you bought it like this in the plastic wrapper, this is going to start sweating and start to break down. So take it out of the plastic wrapping and put it in a paper bag, like so. Screw it up, and then it will keep it fresher for longer.
And he's got some advice that uses Kate's favourite part of the kitchen, the freezer.
Cheese, for example, you know, you could grate some up and then freeze it.
How do you, like, get it unfreezed then to eat?
Just take it out. Just take it out of the freezer and let it sort of thaw in the fridge.
Oh, it won't go all, like, wet and...
No, that'd be absolutely perfect.
Oh, okay.
You can almost freeze anything. You can even freeze sandwiches. Can you imagine that? Try it.
Freeze a week sandwiches. Oh, that would save me so much time.
We're going to need to get a bigger freezer, aren't we?
I think so.
Back in the kitchen,
Let's start mixing this up.
Chris mixes together tuna, garlic and spring onions.
Make sure there's no big chunks of tuna.
Okay.
Adds mayonnaise.
There we are. Get that fork in there.
2 eggs.
Look how gungy that is. Gungy!
And breadcrumbs.
Look at that. Look at that!
Look lovely.
You look lovely in this light.
Thanks, Greg.
That's all right.
There's no stopping Chris now. He's making chicken skewers too. He's marinated the chicken and added lots of chopped veg.
I think one of the things holding us back was the fact that we thought, you know, what do we put with what, ingredients-wise, and how complicated it would all be, whereas in reality, it isn't.
Look at those, yeah!
It's the moment of truth for the tuna. I mean Gregg burgers.
Well,
Oh, wow. I love Gregg burgers.
Result, the kids didn't notice anything fishy about this meal.
You'd eat these ones again then? Yeah.
Definitely.
Are you enjoying more of the home-cooked food?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Are you eating lots of vegetables now?
Yeah.
Thanks, honey. And what do you think of that?
No, it's lush.
Lush.
Lush. I don't know whether this is obvious to you, but you're only cooking one meal and you're all sitting down together and everybody seems like they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Do you like all eating together as a family?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Why?
Well, we never do it. It's always like the children first and then the adults.
And why do you like sitting down together?
Just nice with us. Getting with the family and it's just better than just sitting down with the other two.
We'll have a sit round the table meal, definitely, because it did make me think how much they did actually enjoy that. And I feel a bit sad, really, that they, you know, they've never told me that. If they had, maybe I would have done it a bit more.
The family spend around £50 a week eating out or on takeaways, and they love a pizza. But today, they're making their own.
Okay.
Although Kate has got to do some prep that she might find a bit grating.
It's a shame to open this cheese.
No excuses, Kate.
I hate grating cheese. And I can never grate it straight.
Oh dear, not looking good so far.
Oh, you're making a right mess of our block of cheese. Use the other side. That's it.
It might be easier if you weren't holding the whole block.
Not too much of a funny shape.
How can you do it? It aches.
Yeah.
That is so much of a mission.
It's not really difficult though, is it?
I know, it's just effort, isn't it?
You've got some on your nose. It's better.
Let's see if Kate's aversion to cooking runs in the family.
Right, should we get cracking?
Yeah, let's get cracking.
Oh God, it smells proper good.
Does it?
Making their own pizzas rather than buying them is saving nearly £9 on this one meal alone.
Right then, who wants pepperoni?
I think this has been a hit.
Should we do it again?
Yeah.
OK, let's put them in the oven then.
Oh, guys, these look amazing. I can't wait to eat them. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, look at them. They look so happy.
Forget the telly, the pizza's way more interesting.
Oh, look at it melting.
The fact that they enjoyed doing it was just, you know, all the more nicer to watch, really. Oh, look at that! Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Mm-mm.
It's better than takeaway.
And we'll save them a bit of dough too. Swapping to homemade pizzas once a week will slice a meaty £445 off their yearly shopping bill.
Thumbs up.
Wait. So, who wants a treat? As mean as it's Saturday night?
Me.
The kids normally have branded chocolate biscuits as a snack, but we've replaced them with an own brand that's 18p cheaper per bar.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
What about compared to the usual chocolate bars I buy?
It's not really a difference in chocolate.
No? Would you have these in your lunchbox then?
Yeah.
Swapping these biscuits would save over £140 a year. It's not just this family that like a sugar hit. The UK is one of the top chocolate-eating nations in Europe. But are we sticking to a brand we know when cheaper alternatives could be just as appealing? We've drafted in a group of chocolate-loving cheerleaders from High Wycombe to put 5 different bars to the test.
I definitely pick like a branded chocolate rather than a supermarket brand. You can just taste that it's better quality, tastes more creamy and sweet.
I think the expensive ones will just be, everything I want in a chocolate.
So will the girls be able to pick out the most pricey chocolate pieces from our selection? Up for analysis, a Tesco Everyday Value, the cheapest at 30p for 100 grams, Asda brand chosen by you at 60p, brand leader Cadbury's at £1.20, Waitrose Seriously Creamy at £1.88, and premium brand Lindt costing £1.89. The first treat for the taste buds is the most expensive.
I don't like that one very much. I'm not sure about the orange one. It's bitter. It's quite bitter.
Next up, the leading brand.
This one's nice. Yeah, the green one's really crumbly.
To be honest, I'd eat any of these.
On to the next one.
This is my favourite.
It's my least
You
favourite.
don't like it?
No. It's really watery compared to the other ones.
And finally, the cheapest.
I really don't like this one.
Is it not nice?
It's awful.
It has a really cheap texture to it.
But which bar will get the sweet taste of success?
And the winner is... Cadbury Dairy Milk Chocolate!
The brand leader has taken first prize. In second place was Asda, third was Lindt, the priciest offering, fourth Waitrose, and in fifth place, Tesco Everyday Value.
I thought the green one was going to be Cadbury's milk chocolate, and it was. I know what my chocolate is. I know my chocolate.
The girls recognised their favourite chocolate, but Asda in second place was half the price.
I'm quite surprised that Asda was the yellow one, as I thought it'd be more of a branded chocolate, as I quite like that one.
It goes to show it's worth trying new things. You never know. Something cheaper might just take your fancy.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Kate and Chris are used to buying their lunches on the go, but today the family are going on a picnic and Kate's making lunch for everyone.
I hate block cheese. It's just inconvenient, a big block of cheese, isn't it? Oh, it's just so boring and it's so time-consuming and it's just easier when you've got the slices.
It might be easier, but a few chops of the knife could save some serious cash. Kate usually buys grated and sliced cheese, which comes to £3.08 in total. But the block is £2.44, and they get 10% more cheese. Another favourite is ham.
Ham looks completely different. I usually buy like a teddy-shaped ham because it fits in the bread so well, and I haven't got to faff around with knives and cutting and chopping and stuff. It looks okay, it looks a bit fatty, although it does look a lot thicker, and it looks much better quality. It's what I normally buy.
The Bear ham is £1 a pack. We've swapped it for ham from the local butcher's, which is 83p for the same amount.
I've got to be fair, that was super quick. It was. It was a lot quicker than I anticipated.
If Kate and Chris made their own lunches, they'd save over £1,000 a year. The butcher's ham looks less processed, but is it better for you? Gregg and Chris went to see dietitian Lucy Jones to find out.
Lucy, more often than not, when we visit families, they've got packeted ham in the fridge. But they can greatly differ in price. Do they differ nutritionally?
I think it's a really interesting thing to look at. So over on this side, we've actually got some ham that we've got from the local butchers.
Sliced ham from the Scots local butcher costs 83p per 100 grams.
On this plate, we've got a premium supermarket ham. And on this plate, we've got a more value supermarket ham. And that is a ham marketed to kids. Ham is traditionally thought of as quite a lean meat, but actually the fat content of hams vary massively.
The great thing with butcher's ham is that most of the fat is visible.
And you can remove it if you want.
But Lucy wants to show the hidden fat in the shop-bought hams.
The smallest fat content is that one. And this is per 100 grams. The next fattiest is this one.
Oh.
And the not-so-great winner is actually the ham that's been marketed to kids, which has that much fat per 100 grams.
I'm guessing 100 grams is about 4 slices of ham.
It is a bit of a shocker that it's the children's ham that actually has the far greater fat content than the others.
It's not just about the fat content. The different types of ham are actually made in a different way.
There are sort of 3 different types of processing. One is just sort of curing, where you're adding it to the brine and you're allowing it to develop into ham. The next is actually called formed ham, and this is cuts of muscle meat which is chopped up and added to the sort of brine solution. And the premium ham is a formed ham. This ham, the value ham, and the ham that's marketed at children are actually reformed hams. Now, again, that's some muscle meat, but it can also be other types of meat that are all chopped up and mixed up. So you're not quite sure where the meat that's in this has actually come from. What I'm seeing from these is that you get higher protein and higher nutrients like iron, zinc and B12. So for me, those are a more nutritious product than them. But I think we have to remember that all of these are processed meats. You should be thinking of other things that you can fill your sandwiches with and save ham as a treat once or twice a week.
All hams are different, and it's always good to read the label so you know exactly what you're eating. Back in Wales, and the family are about to put the new ham to the test.
I don't like it.
What don't you like, oh?
It's better than the ham.
Oh, don't you?
I like it.
Yeah? You like the ham?
Do you like the ham, do you?
Mixed reception from the kids, but what does Kate think of it?
I don't like the salad very much.
Why?
I think it's just the ham.
Yeah?
I don't like the ham.
Well, that didn't go to plan.
I do like the concept of making my own salad. I do, and I enjoy making it.
I'll try that salad. That looks really good.
Why don't you try some, see what you think? Because if you like that, then I can make a salad for you, and
I like that.
We are going to start taking packed lunches now. We have to, seeing that, you know, we can save so much.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Definitely.
That's music to my ears. £1,000 is a huge saving.
You spend 15 quid a week, I spend 15 quid a week,
Roughly.
30 quid a week,
Yeah.
120 quid a month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way too much.
We'd love to be able to save that and just put that towards our house. That 120 quid.
Yeah.
Put in there. All for the fact that we can make our salad. God, we're so late. I'm so lazy. We're lazy.
We've all been lazy.
Things have got to change.
Yeah.
It's the moment of truth as Gregg and Chris head to the Scots for the final time.
I think the changes we asked them to implement were so radical and such a great move in the right direction. I really hope they've embraced it completely.
They can save an awful lot of money, but it's literally down to these guys.
I'm biting my nails.
Well, I'm itching to find out. Should we go and see what's happening?
The big question is, how much will the family keep and how much will they save?
The food we've been eating is lovely. It's so nice and so good for you. It makes me anxious to think, well, how are we going to save money buying fresh stuff all the time? I mean, I don't see how it's possible.
It would have been good if they could have saved us 50 quid a week.
No chance, not a chance. They will
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It's only us.
Hi.
How you doing?
All right.
Can I ask you two lovely people, did you feel like you were eating any better, or...?
Yes, that's my problem. I don't think we're going to save much money because we've been eating so
Yeah,
well.
So if you guys have saved us any money, I think we'll both be surprised.
What about cooking going forward?
Cooking going forward, I'm going to try and meal plan with Chris on a Saturday evening. This is what we've discussed. And then on a Sunday, we're going to try and cook a few things for that week.
We both need to decide together kind of what we're going to buy on our weekly shop. I think that is the only way forward.
I tell you what, you two sound like you've absolutely nailed it to me.
So, guys, you've embraced it. Would you like to know what it is you've been eating?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I'd love to know.
If we start this with how we start most days, we'll start with the coffee. This is the coffee that we found in your cupboards, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
They still don't know we didn't swap it.
How did you get on?
Didn't like it.
You didn't like the coffee that we'd given you?
No. It's not normal coffee, and I don't know how long I could drink this for.
Well, the coffee that you didn't like was in actual fact the coffee that you do like.
What? That was the coffee? Seriously?
Right, OK, that's weird.
Unfortunately, this offers you a grand saving of nothing.
No.
But it's... So are we going to keep the new coffee that was the old coffee?
I might look for a different coffee.
Maybe something a bit stronger.
Yeah, a bit cheaper.
You're getting good at this, Kate. Next up, a replacement to a freezer favourite.
Amazing. The kids love those chips. And I was so proud of my chips.
Always do these. They're just better than frozen ones.
Go, Mummy, I made chippies. Yeah.
If you do it yourself,
Yeah.
it's a saving of £1.15.
That's for the 3 kids eating these chips for one meal.
We're definitely happy to keep.
Yes. I loved making those chips. Now I'm going to make some more.
Making this change 3 times a week would shave nearly £180 off the yearly shopping bill. But what about the beans? The boys couldn't agree on whether their branded ones had been replaced.
Jack thought they were our usual brand. Ollie thought they were different, and Meg just couldn't care less.
That's what you ate.
Oh.
Whoa. £1.25.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big saving.
Should we keep these?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to change, is there?
No, we'll keep those.
Very good.
Over the course of the swaps, the family have tried a whole host of new foods.
Right, we keeping this?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll keep that.
Wise buyers you are.
Yes.
And keeping these 5 items would save them another £335 a year.
One of the successes, I understand, was the pizza.
Yeah.
Really good.
Awesome. The kids had so much fun doing them.
These are the pizza bases
OK.
that we gave you. Obviously, there's going to be a difference in the price of this and your takeaway. Not far from a tenner.
Oh, my goodness me. Wow.
That's with all the toppings for the whole family.
Are we going to make some more pizzas then?
Yes.
Loads more
I can't
pizzas.
wait.
A saving of over £445 a year. Worth having a slice of.
Kate,
Yes.
I've seen your eyes light up twice. And that was when we spoke about you making chips and when we spoke about you making pizza. Now, what does that tell you?
I must like to cook.
Maybe you do.
Who'd have thought?
One swap that didn't have people's eyes lighting up was the spread.
We didn't enjoy it, did we,
No.
as much as the butter.
You would, if you used it, save.
OK.
Oh. Still not going to use it, though.
The family kept over 80% of the food we gave them.
We'll definitely keep that.
Plus, with the block, you get 10% more cheese.
No more grated, no more sliced.
No.
No.
Will you two take pack lunches to work. It is a whopping £4.44 a day.
What?
Wow. That's a massive saving.
Chocolate biscuits, look at the saving.
Wow.
Oh my God, really?
There is a whopping saving.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, we'll definitely be keeping those.
The difference is...
Wow, yeah. God, look at all these savings. We'll keep those.
With only a few misses.
We're not keeping it though.
I can't drink that stuff.
Goodbye, cola.
Based on the foods they liked, Chris and Gregg have worked out how much they've saved.
So when we first met you guys, you were spending £208 a week. Would you like to hazard a guess as to how much you think you might be saving?
20 quid, 25 quid.
It's got to be more than that.
No.
I reckon it's got to be nearer 50.
We have managed to save you guys £74 a week.
Wow.
What? Oh my God.
That's incredible.
Wow.
That's a hell of a lot of money every week.
That is just under £4,000 a year.
It's incredible.
Wow, it's crazy.
What does that mean to you guys?
Oh, it means we can, you know, put it away and try and save for our house that we so desperately want.
It represents a huge boost to our savings every single year. So I mean, that's phenomenal.
You're eating together as a family.
Yeah.
You're saving a ton of money.
Yeah.
You're eating healthier.
Yeah.
Job well done.
Yes.
Fantastic job.
Thank you.
Cheers, Chris.
Thank you very much.
That's good.
Cheers. You know, it's a fantastic result for us.
It is.
And the kids are going to eat healthier. We're all going to eat healthier. We'll have a more healthy relationship with food. I mean, everyone's a winner, really.
Yeah.
Well, I think that went rather well, don't you? It went swimmingly.
That was, you know, the whole family absolutely embraced that.
We've nailed it. No, they've nailed it. They've saved a fortune, and they're eating better.
Job well done, I think.
Well done. Let's go and get a cup of tea. A cheap one, obviously.
Next time, we're with the Saini family, who are obsessed with supermarket offers.
One ready salted and two
Go on, then.
chicken, yeah?
OK. Whoa! That's a lot of crisps.
And gorge on snacks and sweet treats.
We want to teach our children to eat well.
Gregg and Chris have their work cut out.
It's not a good example for them to follow, is it?
Trying to change habits of a lifetime.
This isn't as simple as saving money. This is a serious challenge.